third instalment. Sunday the 22nd of February 1981. Are you ready?
Exciting!
Getting up wasn't so cold this morning. It was nice to feel...
Hang on, do a recap of what happened, I forgot.
Oh, so much has happened.
Last time
we got as far as Eilat and the Red Sea, and we went down into the red mountains, the mountains of the moon. No, what were they called? They were called mountains of the moon.
Yeah, because they look like what the moon would look like.
Yes. And I was almost in tears when I saw the beautiful sea and the coral. And we camped in someone's garage hut thing and slept on concrete.
Oh yeah, and everyone else saw shoals of fish and you saw one fish.
Yes. Getting up wasn't so cold this morning. It was nice to feel we'd done all the washing up we'd have to do, and today we could be waited on again. We had breakfast after a long drive in a place where Bedouins lived with their camels. I remember that. We found these Bedouins in the middle of nowhere and they gave us breakfast. Mylis, this person, started off the trend of riding the camels 5 shekels ago, but I didn't have a ride as I felt sorry
What's
for
a
the
shekel?
Shekels is the money you use there.
Oh, right.
It's like what they have in the Bible, I think.
Really?
Started off the trend of riding the camels 5 shekels ago, but I didn't have a ride as I felt sorry for the camels. It was very hot while we had breakfast. Driving on, we passed 3 huts which were apparently the school for the Bedouin children. We drove on a track right through the desert. It wasn't as I'd imagined, golden sand and sand dunes with oases and palm trees. The sand is in fact rather brown and dirty, and there are stark, bleak, craggy mountains too. I was surprised. I thought it would all be flat, but there were all these sort of mountains around. We drove along the Red Sea and saw a sunken ship which was German and sank in 1955. We also saw mangroves, which only grow where there is fresh water under the surface. The plants send up roots which grow upwards through the sand to get moisture. These mangroves are the ones that can be found furthest north in the whole world. Fancy that. The next surprise was a small plane shot down in 1956 in the war. The pilot was the only prisoner taken captive in the war, and he was released afterwards. We saw the Turan Island and the Turan Straits, and around us was barbed wire to protect people from the mines. Also, Chris said, on entering Ophira, you can see a rock resembling John F. Kennedy. Don't know where Ophira is. Oh, finally we got to Ophira, only to see kibbutzniks from Yagur. Because we lived in kibbutz Yagur, and the people who lived there were called kibbutzniks, and we were volunteers. So we saw more kibbutzniks from Yagur when we got to this place. And Stanza, who's been living on the beach a couple of weeks, the weather wasn't very wonderful, but I'm so glad I made the effort to go into the sea with a mask and snorkel. It was the best thing I've ever seen. The corals were every colour, pink, yellow and green, and suddenly the reef plunged into a bottomless, deep blue hole. The fish were swimming all around me, golden ones, little purple ones, black and white striped ones, and fish with every colour of the rainbow on their scales. So I saw more than one fish. The sizes range from tiny little fish swimming in shoals to really quite large fish, which you could see plucking plankton. Kayla says it's vegetation from the rocks. Although I was only on the surface of the water, I felt as if I was really with the fish in their world, swimming along with them. We had dinner on the beach and sunbathed when the sun broke through the clouds for a few minutes. At about 4 o'clock, we waded back through the water from our little beach and went to Sharm el-Sheikh to buy postcards and chocolate, etc. We then drove to Dahab through the mountains and went through an amazing canyon, the sides of which were so high and majestic. The sand here was very deep, and you could feel the bus going from side to side. We had another shower when we got to Dahab and then wandered along the beach. Kove, Signun, Lisa, Ellie and I were overwhelmed by the amazing stars, millions of them. The formations were slightly changed, but basically the same as when we see the stars from our part of the world. We started wondering how far the universe stretched and how it was held up, but we gave up. As Ellie said, it's beyond our limits of thinking. We just have to accept it.
So deep.
Jim, Kayla and I were also discussing something else. Oh, this is funny. The way we were all able to change freely in front of each other. I'm embarrassed. Without feeling embarrassment. Jim says it's the Swedish influence, which I suppose it is, because the English, more than anyone, are so reserved. It's really nice to live together like this. It's so natural.
Got out of Bressingham, back to nature.
We were all changing in Bressingham
Was
Village
Jim a
Hall.
boy?
Changing room at the pantomime. We were all just stripping off and putting clothes on. Everyone together, but not completely. Tea was very good, with a lovely fruit salad. More food again. The bonfire on the beach was also nice, and we got through 15 bottles of wine and told stories of our most embarrassing situation. Mira had heard of a girl who was skiing and decided to go behind a bush and have a wee, but her skis started slipping and she slid all the way down the slope with her trousers down and took the skin off her backside. The air was so warm at Dahab. There was no wind, and you could hardly believe you were sleeping outside. That's it.
Good day. Not very much mention of food.